Like,
how do you feel
holy
about that,
crap,
Mom?
this is fast. And it was just,
I just want to make sure you take enough time to
was staring at me like that with that look so intently that I thought he was going to propose.
Together.
Good.
Okay, I like that one.
Yes. Comb your
Knives. I'm trained mixed martial arts. She's good, sir. After a while, it's clear that my dad's talking about chastity.
Imagine this. A father with 18 children, a man who has lived most of his adult life in the spotlight, looks his daughter's boyfriend straight in the eye and says, when you're just dating, you're kissing another man's wife, until she becomes your wife. Yes, you heard correctly. That's precisely what Kody Brown told us in the most recent episode of Sister Wives, and fans across the board can't help but talk about it. Because what lies behind that explosive declaration is an entire universe of complicated ideas regarding love, faith, control, and redemption. Bear with me until the end, because what Kody was referring to by that line goes far beyond you probably initially believed. Kody Brown, who presides over reality TV's most unconventional family, is embarking on a new stage. A former proud polygamist with 4 wives and 18 children, Kody has been reduced to just one wife, Robyn. All the other relationships have crumbled. But as his universe contracts from plural marriage to monogamy, his own attitudes toward family, faith, and dating appear to be shifting as well. In this latest installment, the focus isn't on Kody's wives this time around. It's on his daughter Aurora and her beau Brodie. The pair are young, in love, and finally bringing their relationship to Kody and Robyn's attention. For most parents, this would be a somewhat awkward moment of being introduced to the boyfriend. But for Kody Brown, it's an all-out philosophical exercise. Because for him, dating isn't a fling, it's a moral war zone. As the conversation unfolds, Kody tells Brodie something that leaves both viewers and his family stunned. He says, when you're dating, you're kissing another man's wife. And if she doesn't become your wife, then you've just been kissing someone else's wife. To Kody, that's not just a poetic metaphor, it's a rule to live by. He believes that every woman, until married, belongs to her future husband. Thus dating becomes this holy waiting period. A period where physical borders should remain unyielding, since in his own words, you don't take something that doesn't belong to you. It's a product of backwoods morality, forged by his faith and years of defending polygamy as a sacred vocation. But to many viewers, it seems outdated and oppressive. The notion that a daughter belongs to a future husband, or that her father has to safeguard her from being touched, is a mindset that is at odds with contemporary notions of freedom and equality. Nevertheless, Kody asserts his words are from love. He says to Brodie, your job is to keep my daughter safe, even from yourself. It's his boundary-setting way, attempting to keep Aurora safe and not hurt or disrespected. But that line, keep her safe from yourself, reveals a great deal about his attitudes toward men, temptation, and control. Men are naturally threatening, he sees them. Women are vulnerable, he believes. Fathers are the protectors of their chastity. For Aurora, this discussion must have been embarrassing. Picking up your boyfriend to take him home for a nice chat, and being met with your dad making a comparison of your relationship to taking another man's wife on loan. Brodie, for his part, appears respectful and apprehensive, nodding politely as Kody delivers a lecture on chastity and responsibility. At some point, even Kody tells a half-joking but half-serious comment. I think I can trust my daughter with this cowboy, naming Brodie's boots. But the forced laughter can't conceal the tension. Because this isn't simply a matter of a dad being protective. It's a matter of Kody imposing his entire moral code onto his kids. A code which several of them have already rejected. If you're keeping up with Sister Wives, you're aware that Kody's relationship with a number of his adult children is strained. Some of his children hardly speak to him. Others have publicly accused him of being hypocritical and prideful. Even his daughter Michelty stated, if he just said he was wrong and apologized, I feel like that would go such a long way. That's all you need to know. Kody's family isn't mad because he's strict. They're saddened because he doesn't take responsibility very often. And that's what makes this moment with Aurora's boyfriend so compelling. Kody teaches purity and protection, yet from his own background, it appears otherwise. When he was wooing Robyn years ago, he was still married to his first wife, Meri, in the legal sense, and spiritually wedded to Janelle and Christine. But he claims he kept his hands off Robyn until marriage. That statement now sounds like a rewriting of history, like he's trying to paint himself as some kind of man who always did what he wanted, no matter how sordid the truth. It's as though Kody is attempting to restore moral stature after decades of disruption. His plural marriage imploded, his wives departed, and his leadership persona fell apart. So now he's constructing anew. Not in another marriage, but in domination over what remains. The children. By establishing high standards for dating, by advocating protection and purity, he's attempting to re-establish the order he's forfeited. But in doing so, he may just drive his kids further away. The kissing another man's wife metaphor reveals more about Kody's worldview than he likely is aware. It describes ownership. The idea that women are never really their own, that they transition from belonging to their father to belonging to their husband. It is a perspective steeped in patriarchal tradition, in which a woman is only valuable if she is pure and obedient. And though Kody may interpret it as loving advice, the world outside has evolved. His children reside in a world that cherishes freedom, autonomy, and self-exploration. The same things his metaphor erases. Meanwhile, you can't deny the emotional subtext of his message. Kody has witnessed his family's disintegration. Christine, Janelle, and Meri walked away, leaving him with Robyn, the sole wife who remained faithful. The man who previously preached that love was multiplied has now confessed that he didn't love each one of them equally. I struggled to be devoted specifically to every single wife, he said. That confession indicates that he knows he made mistakes. But far from mellowing him out, it has apparently toughened his attitude towards relationships. He's more possessive, more controlling, and more protective. Perhaps because on some level, he doesn't want to lose more people. Robyn sits quietly in the scene, backing Kody as he talks. Body language speaks volumes. She's agreeing with him but doesn't want to make things any more uncomfortable. After all, she's still the family peacekeeper, the one who tends to soak up Kody's feelings and excuses him to others. But even she realizes that Kody's perception of the world isn't the norm anymore. She's raising children in a world that does not view dating as sin, that prizes independence and respect for each other. Audiences immediately responded to this episode on social media. Twitter was filled with messages of shock and outrage. Some fans claimed to appreciate Kody's motivation to stand up for his daughter. Others called him a hypocrite and misogynist. One remark was spot on. How can a man who had 4 wives lecture someone about purity? Another viewer posted, Kody's trying to be the hero after all the hurt he caused. But that's precisely why Sister Wives is so compelling television. It's not simply about relationships. It's about the clash between tradition and the modern world, between outdated beliefs and changing identities. Kody Brown is a man torn between 2 worlds. He crafted his life on religion, discipline, and a sense of divine mission. But now his world, and even his own family, no longer hold those beliefs. So every time he talks to his children is like a standoff between the cultures. When Kody instructs Brodie to protect Aurora even from yourself, he's expressing his fear, not only of his daughter getting hurt, but of losing the last shreds of control he has. His plural marriages are lost. His control as a husband is lost. His authority as a father is eroding as well. So he hangs on to what he's good at, rules, fences, and morality lectures. But that's the irony. In attempting so much to keep his family safe, he regularly ends up keeping them isolated. His children don't need a guardian, they need a listener. They don't want him to watch over their virginity. They need him to listen to their choices. And that is something that Kody still has difficulty with. As this season goes on, you can sense that underlying sadness. Kody's expression, his voice, there's frustration but a hint of yearning. He wants to connect, but he connects by control. And that control repels others. It's like seeing a man stuck in his own ideology, not able to recognize love is not possession, it's trust. So what does it all equal? That one sentence, kissing another man's wife, went viral because it's not so much about Kody Brown. It's about how families across the board struggle with values handed down. The parents who were raised with strict morals see their children living freely now. They fear. They project. They try to guard, and in trying to guard, they end up imprisoning. Kody's words ring that familiar universal battle cry. The anxiety over losing control as your children become their own individuals. However, you can't help but ask yourself if Kody even understands how hypocritical he sounds. He used to preach that love is to be shared by many wives, that no one belongs to only one person. Now he explains to his daughter that her kisses already belong to her husband. It's an odd turnaround, as if a man is reworking his history to suit his new narrative. Perhaps he's attempting to persuade himself as much as anybody else that he's changed. And perhaps that's why this moment feels so authentic. Because behind the scandal, there's a father who's lost his way. A man attempting to make sense of love, faith, and failure. Whether you're with him or not, you can see the hurt in his eyes, the burden of guilt. It's about what they mean. The struggle between love and domination, between belief and autonomy, between yesterday and tomorrow. And that's what makes us all tune in.